Hey, what's up, fam? So while pondering over my whole theory for the Mashimaverse, which for those who don't know and are just hearing that for the first time in this video, is with Eden Zero, I believe that Hiro Mashima is going to connect all of his other series into one universe. And part of the reason that he's continuing Fairy Tail alongside Eden Zero is to keep Fairy Tail kind of alive and going, and potentially start doing that with other series once he kind of gets, if he can get the ball rolling, sort of thing. And I decided to compile his main characters from his other big fighting style combat manga into a list. And I will say I didn't include some things. I didn't include were things that were it didn't seem like they would fit at all, or his Monster Hunter, like 4 volume series, because I don't think he'd be able to. I don't think he'd legally be able to put that in with uh, with the rest of these, because where he owns these, I think the company who makes and owns Monster, is it Capcom? I don't know. Whoever owns Monster Hunter owns the rights to that comic, but uh, I wanted to list all of the characters that I think could go in there, and what I'm going to do is each week I'm going to make a video talking about each of those characters. You know, saying like, this is the character for this series that could be in there. This is some stuff about them. This is what they're capable of. This is what their goals were and their personality was, and each week while doing this, obviously more chapters of Eden Zero will come by, and by the time I get all the way back up to the new guy, Shiki, who's right there near the center, just above my boy Natsu. By the time we get to him, we're gonna have multiple more chapters into Eden Zero. So we'll have, by the time we get to him, I'll be able to describe him as a character a lot better than just kind of getting the chapter one, introduction that we have right now. But for right now, I want to name the main characters that we have from here. I'm going to go left to right. So the first one, we have this white-haired magician, and the small. I made him. I made like the small little guy above him, kind of that's looking down at the far left, is because he has a powered up form, and the black haired one that's looking down is the real guy. His name's it's like Aoi or Aoi. It's Aoi. I don't know how to pronounce that, but he's the descendant of witches, and he has a more magical form that he takes, which is the one that's right next to Haru, the left of Haru, standing there, that he calls Magic Illusion. And just a short description of his story. I'm going to give a short description of each of their stories. The series was called Magician. It was Hiro Mashima's first manga that he pitched, and it was about. It seemed to be these people wanted Plu, this group that I can't remember if it was they created Plu or they needed Plu for they're like trying to kind of create an ultimate advanced like alteration to humans and kind of make the ultimate species kind of thing. And the main character had Plu like as his pet. He like adopted him, took him in, and he didn't want these people to take Plu and experiment on him. So that was kind of the first one. And above that, you see another character with this black hair, and if you look, he kind of has these slit eyes. That is Silver, the main character from the one shot of Fairy Tail, but in this one it was spelled Tale, which involved these 4 elemental clans that kind of existed around each other in this fantasy world, and he and a female character, I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but she and him went to, I believe, go prevent this evil Gorgon witch from being able to replenish her vitality from this book that they think they lost custody of it. it was snatched around under their noses, and I think they were kind of trying to prevent blame. I'd have to reread them. What I'm going to do though before I to do the individual video on each of them is I'm going to uh, reread the series. That includes single chapters and ones like Wraithmaster and Fairy Tale, which are each hundreds. So I'm gonna have to put those two. I'll probably do all the one chapter ones first, and then get to the other ones. But anyway, I gotta continue on. Right there, with the kind of torn up. He's a little bit beaten. He's got a little bit bloody. With the right next to Magic Illusion, and underneath Silver, we have the first big main character to come out of Hiro Mashima, and that is Haru Glory, the second Rave Master of the main character of the series, Rave Master, which was Hiro Mashima's first big smash hit, and kind of like like I said, a short summary of that whole thing is he had to leave his village on this place called Garage Island, where he's from. He's kind of this small town like bumpkin, and he had to go out on a quest to find and destroy all the Darkbring, and to put an end to all these different evils in the world that were centered around the Mother Darkbring that was scattered, and the chance lost to destroy it by the first Rave Master Shiba. He was a pretty cool character, and he kind of started the whole seasonal name that Hiro Mashima likes to do, where Haru, the first one, is named Haru, meaning spring. To the right of Haru, we had the first female main character from Hiro Mashima, named Kokon. I think it's a Kokona, who is a demon princess who didn't want to live as a demon anymore for being discriminated against, and she was in love with this human, but he didn't want to be with her because she was a demon, and he saw it kind of being a problem. But there isn't a whole lot to her story, other than she seems to have a lot of drawn in and deep down power that she tries to repress in order to give off more of a gentle human persona. To the right, top right from her, we have the new guy, Shiki, the main character of Eden Zero, the young boy, Shiki Granbell, who grew up on the planet Granbell, which was this, I don't remember, was it the Kingdom? It was Kingdom Granbell on the planet Granbell, yeah. And he grew up on this planet of only robots. He had never known any other humans, and he sets out after having to leave his kingdom when all the robots turn on him while trying to save his new friend Rebecca from being burned alive, that he will explore the vast reaches of space, and he is the pivotal key point right now of being able to connect the Mishimaverse. To the left of him, we have Starbiter Satsuki, which the one shot that Hiro Mashima did right before Eden Zero, a couple years, I think it was 2015 or 2016, one of those two, I think it was 2015, that we got the one shot for Starbiter Satsuki, which is about this girl Satsuki who's going around trying to collect the swords that her master had stolen from him, and she wants to collect them all and prevent them from being used in evil hands. I don't remember if she collects them or she just purposely destroys them, but she's a pretty cool character. And then in the center of the picture, we have my boy Natsu Dragneel from Hiro Mashima's biggest series, Fairy Tale, the one that ended August of last year. Actually, I think it was July of last year, late July. I think it was like the 27th, 2017. It was either late July or early August. I can't remember off the top of my head. Those were dark times for me. You can only imagine how upset I was that the series ended. But the Dragon Slayer, the Fire Dragon Slayer, who, after having his father Igneel disappear one day at random, he went on a multiple year long search throughout all these different things, all these different adventures, to hopefully try and find his father, shortly into joining the Fairy Tale Guild, while not giving up the hunt to try and figure out where his dad was from. Above him to the right, we have Elena, who is from a short series, not a short series, a one-shot Hiro Mashima did called Magic Party, that he tried to kind of center around a similar idea of his original series, Magician. Magic Party was about this girl Elena who was she's trying to be like an apprentice magician, but she's really kind of lazy and doesn't want to do it, while looking for this tome, the Book of Talna, and kind of going down this pathway to be a magician. And though she doesn't want to be really putting in the effort to do things, she's like constantly bothered by this little dragon that follows her around, that's trying to get her to become good enough so she can undo the sealing that put him in this form, and so he could return back to his human body. Below her, with holding the guns, the only gun guy of the group is Zephyr from this series. God, it's hard to pronounce. It's called like the land of wind and rock, I think it is. Really hard to pronounce. It's either that or it's in its longer Japanese form, but it's about this dude Zephyr, who is a treasure hunter, and he's going around with his buddy Soul, trying to find all these treasures. They come across this girl who was sealed in stone in order to prevent this monster from rampaging, and they it really kind of sets on a very soft note of them kind of just gaining this additional person in their crew, and that beyond that they would go treasure hunting and through whatever adventures they kind of had from there. To the right of him, to the side, with the other character that kind of has a battle form, is Aki, the third of the. Actually, no, he was the second of the seasonal names. We had, yeah, because it went Haru, Spring, Aki, Autumn, Natsu, Summer, and then Shiki, all seasons, or 4 seasons. Aki is this dire wolf who has this, in his normal form, is this more human-looking person with little horns. He's extremely weak, but he has this extremely powerful, like horned werewolf, demon werewolf form called the dire wolf. And his series mostly just seems to be about stuff that they get caught up in with his crew, the Black Heirs. This was you can, if you read it, you can see a lot of kind of pre-fairy tale ideas that kind of showed up in there, kind of pre-aspects. We have Proto Urza in there with this mummy chick. But these are going to be the characters. These are going to be the characters that I go through. I'm going to go through them in order of being released. Obviously, the last one on the line being Shiki, and so by the time I get to Shiki, there's that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 characters. So 10 weeks. In 10 weeks we'll get to Shiki, and we will by that time have a lot more known about him. We'll have seen a lot more of his personality, him interacting with people. He should have already gone, probably knowing Hiro Mashima, he'll have gone on at least one mini adventure within the first 2 chapters, and then kind of putting up to the first little arc where he'll fight like his first bad guy of like actual struggle and significance. And we'll know a lot more about him by that time. And I think that'll be a lot of fun, as the idea for his video will be changing as we get there. But anyway, yeah. So if you haven't read all of these, I would recommend giving them a try, especially Wraith Master and Fairy Tail. Those are the big ones that you, if the Mishimaverse does happen, those 2 will for sure be the ones in there. They are the big guns, the big dogs who made Hiro Mashima's career, and then the rest of them really we have possibilities. But Haru and Natsu from Wraith Master and Fairy Tail would be the guarantees if the Mishimaverse does happen. We'll eventually, more than likely, get a crossover between the 3 series and see Haru, Natsu, and Shiki all meeting up and kind of interacting. And I think that'll be a lot of fun. But anyway, so like I've been saying, like, favorite, subscribe, drop some comments, give me a thumbs up. Hopefully, if you liked my video. I was just doing some preemptive stuff, kind of getting this out and announced of this kind of little project I'm going to be doing as Eden Zeroes kind of starts and progresses, and I think it'll be pretty fun to see to see the road from Hiro Mashima's main characters as we kind of step into this new one. But otherwise, thank you very much. I hope you do, in fact, give my other videos a shot. I just did some the chapter reviews for the new chapters of One Piece, Black Clover, and My Hero Academia. I do a little bit of comics reviews as well, and I do a little bit of manga news. So other than that, like I said, thank you very much. Hopefully, I got your subscription earned, and I hope you have a great weekend. Bye.